Welcome back, viewers and listeners, to Playing and Missing with Shoey and the Wiz, playing podcast hosts and occasionally missing weeks, as we found out, haven't we, Shoey?
Oh, I like that. That's really good.
I thought it played in well to the fact that we have actually missed a week in the middle, haven't we?
I say our Melbourne studio wasn't quite finished yet, right? So couldn't get the show on board.
Yeah, the international satellite office wasn't up to streaming standards, so had to give that one a miss. But no, obviously there's been a lot that has gone on, so let's kick off. We'll start off with obviously our favourite, as we have been requested to be the commentary team for the Second Premier League. Yeah, I don't actually know if Ken Curry requested that, but he just got told that we were going to be doing it.
He did.
But we had the Northern Stars versus the Tamahere Bulls, which before the day we thought that was going to be a big blockbuster clash from how the Bulls performed and from how the Stars performed the week before too. A few changes for both teams, to be fair.
Yeah, there was.
A fair bit of admin for poor Shoey to get through before the first ball. And I believe there were some admin issues in terms of uniform presentation from these Stars that needed to be done before the game started too.
It made it pretty difficult to score since the names on the backs weren't actually the players, so we were having to yell out the old bowler's name a few times. So that was good. It
was handy. Handy that Bill did have his little binoculars for the day. I mean, it helped distinguish faces, but names didn't match the face, which wasn't ideal. But that was a good result for the Stars.
It was, 4-wicket win. Yeah. So
I mean, we don't really need to talk about the game of the Long Keepers versus the Bombers, do we?
No, we don't. Another.
We're going to, aren't we?
Was it? Just before we move on to that game, let's just quick recap. So the Bulls batted first. 214 and 20 overs for 8. So through a few wickets there. But standout performance, Mitch Green, 127 not out of 54 deliveries, 7 fours and 7 sixes. So good shout out for Mitch there. That was a bloody awesome innings to watch.
And I think, to be fair, that had the most exciting start to a game of cricket that we've seen for a wee while as well. Poor Jason Hussey, thinking he could just flick the first ball of the game off his hip. And Dale Hopkins taking the absolute screamer at short fine leg first ball of the game. I don't think many people believed it had happened, to be honest.
Because we didn't quite get it on camera, did we? It was just out of shot. So, we'll just say it didn't happen,
We'll just make sure that Dale's not listening in.
And then, so Stars looked pretty good in the chase, didn't they? Led by Van Zyl, young lad. 95 off 37 balls. Unlucky not to get a century. He was hitting it well, wasn't he? 5 fours and 10 sixes. So
he was hitting them a very long way as well. And I think, if I recall correctly as well, he even made comment with his batting as well. It was, I think he's a bit of a favourite cricketer of yours as well. But I feel like you're referring back to one Martin Guptill as well. It was very clean hitting, but he kept his head down as well while he's hitting. It's very powerful, but very well timed too.
It was good to watch. Yeah, you can go and check it out on the highlights when they're uploaded too if you want. Let's plug there. Obviously, Callum Nichols as well. He's continuing his good form, 63 or 46, anchoring the innings. And in the end, it was the difference getting them home by 4 wickets. It was a good first game, real exciting. Went down to the wire.
It was,
Yeah, and then there was a second game.
There was a second game.
Yeah, there were. So it was Long Keepers versus the Kaipeki Bombers. And it was I think it was a pretty good start, wasn't it, from the Long Keepers who batted first. And I think you guys clawed them back quite well in the end. And they were all out, actually. Just 19.2 overs. So obviously 4 balls short in a T20 is quite a bit of a no-no, isn't it? It's not ideal, especially in that short format. But posting 211, it looked like it was going to be 260 at one stage, didn't it?
They just keep going and going. Fortunately, the bowlers did a fantastic job. The Bombers did have a few bowling members out on representative duties elsewhere, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which did bring in recruit Kent Curry to open the bowling, who brought a bit of humour into the SPL. I think the fact that we're playing the long keepers with a beautiful onion mascot, Ken Curry bowling the first ball, which was a genuine onion.
Actually, yep.
Good value.
Yeah. But he returned some good figures, 1 for 28/04. That's pretty good. Just late call up. Unlucky not to get a wicket in his, I think it might have been his first over. It was a great shout. And he actually got penalised 5 runs for a penalty over exuberant one.
He did indeed.
That's the first time I've ever seen that in all my cricket days. It's,
and I think there was even confusion between yourself and the score in terms of which rule it applied and how that affects the score and making sure we didn't swap the batsman at the same time.
Anyway, but yeah, it was a good game. But yeah, just with the batting innings for the Bombers, obviously yourself coming in lower in the order this time.
Yeah, I believe I was put into the bomb squad.
Yeah, nice.
And I had a few of my Kaipaki Cricket Club team members with me, wondering how that came about, because I don't think anyone has actually seen me hit a bomb. And to no surprise to anybody, there were no bombs hit by the Wizard.
Yeah, no, it's not a great turn there, was it? One off 2 balls.
Not ideal.
We'll just leave that one there, eh? But yeah, Liam Russell at the top again, the Welshman, 80 off 31, so very good innings. And when he was at the crease, it looked like it might have been on, but yeah, just when he got out, really it was a bit of contribution there from Ryan Preston, 33 off 27, but no one else really got going, did they? And it was she was all out for 160. So.
There is also something known as a KK as well out at Kaipaki, and it's the Kaipaki collapse.
Yeah.
Which, fortunately and unfortunately, Seven Premier League has been privy to seeing in the first 2 rounds.
Very good. Well, the next SPL match is on the 23rd of March, so we'll review that one and preview it as we get closer. But we'll move right along to the big tournament that's currently going, right? And
the other big tournament, I believe you said, yes.
Yeah, the other one, yeah. The Champions Trophy. So Black Caps, we're going to review, obviously, the games as we're going, but as you said, we missed a couple of weeks, so we'll just review them all now. It's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, fire through.
Yeah, first up, Pakistan, the hosts, hosting 320 for 5. And yeah, Pakistan all out for 260. So 60-run win there. That was pretty outstanding from the Black Caps there.
Yeah, and I mean it was a good bowling performance from Black Caps as well. Like 100%, not taking anything away from what they did with the bat, but you know, after you've lost a lot of experience in these big tournaments, after you've lost Bolt, Southey, to an extent Ferguson as well, the slightly younger bowling line have done quite well.
They have. Yeah, it was a great batting effort as well, I think. I'm just bringing up the scores here. I think Will Young, first ODI century outside of New Zealand. So we were talking about him later, weren't we? We were wondering whether he was going to get that spot, and they stuck with him. Although Rashim was injured for that first game, but even in the match against India, he got the call up, didn't he? So fingers crossed that's him cemented into the 11, and he can have a good run at it, right?
Yeah, and it's one of those things again of we don't want to say you want to try like get those younger players out because he isn't actually all that young. But he hasn't had that same kind of chance that some of those top order bats have had. So it's good to see he's getting game time, and especially in that Pakistan game, getting a lot of runs too.
Yeah, he is. No, real happy with that one. Moving on to our second game, and that was against Bangladesh. So bowling first this time, so chasing, which I think our bowling effort was very good, especially with Jamison coming back into the side, which was interesting, because we were talking maybe it was between Ferguson and
O'Rourke almost.
O'Rourke, yes, yeah. but then I think Smith as well, we did mention. But then Jamison gets the nod. I guess he's that point of difference, isn't he? That high release, and he's been a bit of a handful in recent years, obviously before he got his injury. So, yeah, he got the nod. But yeah, so again, bowling effort again. So Michael Bracewell, 4 for 26 off 10. So that's a good return, isn't it? And it's awesome having him back in the side as well. I think it adds the balance, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we even having that chat with Randall as well, just to say, we've, especially in Pakistan, you've usually got a bit more slower wickets, turns a little bit more, and with Santner being our only almost more frontline spinner, what happens if he doesn't perform? But especially Bracewell and Phillips, they've done a good job in that, not even a supporting role as the slower bowlers, because they're actually performing quite well in front of Santner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, a good batting performance from the team there. Top order didn't really fire. Devon Conway was on the side, but 30 odd. But Rachin getting a century on his return match, 112, 105 balls. That man's got a big future, hasn't he?
Yep. One of the few actual younger ones getting a chance.
Yeah, indeed. And then Tom Mason, we spoke about him, didn't we? He was on a pretty run for lean of form, wasn't he? 3 ducks in a row. And he's come out and he's hit a 50 in this match, and he's scored runs too in the later matches as well. So, yeah.
I think it's only fair to assume that he'd been listening into us, Shoey, and gone, you know what, I'm going to have to prove them both wrong.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the key thing there and the good thing about it is different players have been scoring runs. In the past, we've relied on Taylor and Williamson as our main run scorers, right, and Guptill as well. But now it's good. It's been shared around, and I like that. And I like Glenn Phillips coming in and finishing off innings as well, right? So real happy with that progress in that front there. Moving on to our last match that we had in the round robin. Obviously, we'd already secured our semi-final spot. After other results.
When we had to leave Pakistan and go to Dubai.
Yeah, should we talk about that for a minute, shall we?
I mean, I think India are the only people talking to the media currently that are bewildered by the fact that everybody feels that they've got an advantage by staying in the same hotel, practicing in the same areas, using the same stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're the host nation, you shouldn't have some form of an advantage.
Yeah, definitely. I think I had a good comment. If India win this, it's going to be a big asterisk next to them.
It should be too. It should.
Yeah. I mean, I saw an article this evening actually with Gambia saying that he was to the media, was like, "What advantage? We don't have an advantage." He's just, 100%. If you're not having, it's all the Black Caps travel schedule after that game, right? They were finished the match. They were up early, or in the middle of the night. Sorry, they went to the hotel and they got back at 9. They were up at 1, traveling the red eye back to Pakistan, and that's just ridiculous, right? If anyone says it doesn't affect you, you're lying, right? I mean, obviously you travel a bit for work too. I used to travel around New Zealand as well, and it does for work. So it does affect you, right?
Yeah, because people say, "Oh, yeah, you sat on the plane." It's not that. It's the airport. That's the problem. Getting to and from.
And it's the waiting around for flights and delays and all that sort of fun stuff, right? But it's obviously a big talking point at the moment, and well, fingers crossed it's India don't win, and we're not talking about it anymore.
We'll just take
so
that last one.
So that last game, I thought we bowled really well actually, restricting India to 249 for 9 for the 50 overs. Matt Henry 542 just continues to play well against India, which is awesome.
And I mean, not to take anything away from Henry, but my gosh, GP, that fielding behind point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to see he's picked up on, all the lessons I've been giving him, but it's just amazing seeing things like that in terms of not so much the frequency that it's happening, but, it just lifts everybody up that little bit more. Because if you look at how Australia performed last night in terms of their catches, they just kept going down. It was first catch goes down and a lot in between.
Catches win matches, right? That saying has been there for centuries. That's true. Yeah, so I was happy with the bowling performance against India, but just the batting. I mean, start from Will Young, Kane, who was due for some runs anyway, so he got some, but he didn't have any support right. And I think we're 140 odd for 6, trying to up, and he had to up the ante a bit, and he just ran past it. And a good delivery from Patel, but he ran straight past it. And that was all she wrote, right? He had support from anyone. Start from Mitchell and Latham, Phillips, and then Satner chimed in with 28 at the end, but
it's gone by that point.
Yeah, it was.
And I mean, that's similar to like you were saying before, you know, in the other innings, you've had other people getting runs. That game against India, we're almost going back a year or two where it was, if Kane doesn't get runs, we're screwed. And nobody kind of, you know, actually playing a supporting role to that.
Yep. And that was a good bowling performance too from the spinner. He bowls those out the side of the hand kind of carry balls, doesn't he? Yeah, it's quite hard to pick up. So same figures as Henry, 542. So interesting stuff there. It's quite a coincidence. But yeah, so lucky there wasn't much riding on it. I mean, I guess mentally, do you get up for that game? It might be a bit harder. I mean, playing for your country, you're going to get up, right? Well, you'd hope you would.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like, does Gary Stead go, okay, it's confirmed we've got it. Do we try something different? I don't really think they did do that.
No.
Because if you do take that approach, then you don't mind the loss. But I don't really think there was too much experimentation there. Yeah, I just think underperforming from the Black Caps there.
With the bat, especially. Right, so moving on then. Obviously, the result last night, India, like we've talked about, beating Australia. So the final will be in Dubai, which is ridiculous. They've got the embossed logo, ICC up the top left corner of your screen, right? It says Pakistan. I think they need to change that to Dubai for the final. Yeah, it's just can't be in Pakistan if it's not there, right?
And again, I can't think of too many other sports where you go to compete in a world tournament, it's just hosted by a country, and you've got one country going, you know what, we're not going to. We're still in it, but we're not going there.
Yeah, 100%. Right, anyway, so we've got Black Caps tonight. We're starting in a couple of hours. South Africa, the old foe in the semi-finals. It's going to be a cracker of a game. I think it's going to be high scoring. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a couple of 350, 340s around there. Just the pitches have been playing on in Pakistan have just been batting paradise, haven't they? Roads, You might have even scored some runs on those.
And I mean, like, if you look at both the teams as well, there's a few, dependent obviously on selections, there's a few interesting battles that could be going through there as well, because you've got the absolute giant human of Marco Jansen, who has been bowling really well, but if he doesn't get wickets early up top, he's still quite young in his career. He does seem to get affected by that. So if the Black Caps do get off to a good start, obviously Rabada is an absolute weapon.
He's a great.
So I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing Rabada versus Williamson, because you've got the spearhead of the bowling attack versus an absolute batting pillar for the Black Caps as well. So battle within a battle, it's always good fun.
What do we think the team's going to shape up like? You reckon they'll go same as India, or you reckon Conway will come in?
I feel it would be silly to change it, but if you're going based off of what's happened in Pakistan as opposed to Dubai, are you going to base it off just those two games beforehand? Because it was a very good start from Will Young. Didn't do too well in the second game. But in terms of confidence, I'd imagine Will Young would be the better choice than Conway, as opposed to Conway being very, very hit and miss lately, as opposed to one blip for Will Young.
So should we pick our 11? I reckon it's going to be Young, Rachin opening up. Obviously,
100%.
She'll pick themselves, and then they're sticking with Latham, which is fine. He's scoring runs, and he seems to be keeping pretty well from what I've seen. And then I think we'll just stick with the same, right? It'll be Phillips.
Bracewell, Santner.
Yep. And then it's got to be Henry picks himself. I think it's O'Rourke and Jamieson.
I mean, to be honest, the only thing that I think they could possibly look at, dependent on the pitch, would be Bracewell for Smith. But as usually a lot slower and lower decks, there's a good chance they're going to be like, you know what, we don't really need that we don't need a medium pace, we need pace and spin. Yeah. So, I'd imagine that'd be the 11 we'd look at.
Yeah. Bracewell's bowling pretty well, isn't he? So I think he'll get a nod. Yeah, I don't think he'll change it. Oh, very good. Anything else to add on the Champions Trophy there, mate?
I mean, the only other thing that, you know, it's coming up in the media quite a lot as well. You know, Kevin Peterson had his bit, especially post the different tours that England had before the Champions Trophy, is just what is happening with England.
True. And I think they thought Baz was going to be the old silver bullet, come and solve all the problems, right? But he's inherited that team, and it's the same players that have been playing. And obviously, there's something going on with the team, just not gelling. I see Josh Buttler's he's stepped down as captain, which I think he needed to. I'll be surprised if he actually makes the team, right? I'd say McCullum's just going to clean it out and start again.
And I mean, it's with Harry Brook as the vice captain, nothing against him being the vice captain there, but he's a very young player, relatively new to the international stage. He's performing really well. Do you want to add that responsibility on top, or let him have that license to play how he normally plays to make sure you have at least somebody scoring some runs?
It's true. Well, it'll be interesting to see how they shape up over the next couple of seasons, isn't it? Yeah, but I still think McCullum should be coaching the Black Caps, but that's a different topic. Leave that one
mate,
there.
you've got McCullum over in England. You've got Vittori over in Australia.
Fleming in India.
Yes. Yeah, we're helping everybody else.
Sure are.
Oh.
Right, what's next there? So we got Plunkett Shield returns.
It has.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know about you, Shoey. I'm going to make the assumption that you're more of a red ball fan than a white ball fan.
Yeah, 100%. My jam.
So, I mean, like, I get excited when Plunkett Shield gets back as well. However, looking at the Northern District squad as a Northern Districts human, I did see one Matt Brown in the Northern Districts squad. He has played a few games for Hamilton. Matt Brown, for anybody that isn't up to speed on their tragic cricket origin stories, playing third grade cricket in Australia 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Found a T20 contract with the Brisbane Heat and has just skyrocketed from there.
Awesome.
Gone from being a bat maker playing third grade to being a professional cricketer, living every cricket tragic dream.
That's awesome. It's a good story.
I just want to be part of that man's story. He's a great bloke.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had a couple of games start off today. So we had CD versus Auckland. CD putting on a little bit of a batting clinic, 414 for 4.
Wow, any of our Movember friends runs in that game?
Not yet. So not yet.
Yeah, okay, nice.
I'm sure there's going to be more to come. Not as many runs in the ND game versus Canterbury. ND all out for 278, and Canterbury 61 for 2. So you'd like to say India well on top there. And then in the Wellington versus Otago game, Wellington 297 for 7.
Oof.
But they only got 77 overs in on their day, so possibly a bit of weather affected there.
Is that Wellington or down south?
That one doesn't actually say. Oh, sorry, yes, that one is in Wellington. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I knew I should have missed my flight and just stayed there for another day, hey?
Yeah. Nice.
But yes, no, very excited that our Plunkett Shield is back.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think that is a brilliant segue into Shoey's Slog, because we've got some results there, but I believe that you've got a great moment for me in the last week.
I do. Bit of a proud dad moment. I'm not gonna be ashamed of that. Gonna make a plug for my boy playing for the Year 9 Otamoto Cadets team against the Mount College actually team. Came in number 6, needing quite a few runs to win and wickets tumbling all around him. Had a proper test match innings, 16 not out of 56 balls.
Yes.
But because there was a number of wides bowled in the game, he just needed to bat time and managed to put a partnership on with the last batter, and they ended up winning the game by 1 wicket. So it was a bloody good effort from Carter. So brown pup even is
the brown pup, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, good shout out to Carter for that. That's awesome.
Oh, it's fantastic stuff from Carter. It's good to see he hasn't taken after you in the batting department.
Yeah, good. Yeah, he's probably might be better than me, which is going to be good. I'll it.
Oh, but speaking of your batting performances, we've actually got a few of the Movember boys heading back out to Waipuna Valley this weekend. Waipuna Valley versus a Mara Suburbs 11 out at the magnificent Stud Oval, catching up with our good friend Seashore out there, and young Sweeney Todd Matt Butcher will be in attendance too. I have a funny feeling due to Matt's age that he will not be running down the hill for his bowling.
I hope not.
Hopefully, Carl will be making a run up the hill. Good for him. Character building. And then we've got we might even look at doing some snap interviews on a Hawke's Bay tour.
We could be, yeah.
With the Movember crew, won't we?
We are, yeah. Nice tour next week. So we'll definitely have a bit of a review of that tour and how the performances went. So hopefully you can score some runs there, Wiz.
Oh, mate, it's as long as I don't get anything bowled to me by one Luke Wright, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
The one man that's not going to be getting me out that week.
Nice. Nice. Well, I think we might wrap it up there, Wiz. Yeah. Hopefully, it's been good. Missed a couple of weeks, but yeah, we're back on it. So hopefully we can keep it going.
Pretty sure we've covered everything, but if anyone feels we have missed anything, by all means, drop it in a comment on the video or let us know through Facebook as well, or if there's any other subjects that you feel we do need to dabble into as well, by all means, either let us know on Facebook or you can flick us an email about it too.
Very good. Awesome. Cheers, mate.
Have a good one.